Welcome to Houston, Texas, and Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinals. Lakers looking to win in advance, but Shane Battier and the Rockets have a plan for assuring a Game 7.
Here we go, fellas. 3 things. Never give up, never give in, and fight for 48. That's all we got to do. Very simple. Let's go out and win this game. Here we go. 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Win! Well, the Rockets have their hometown fans fired up and ready to go. The Beat LA chants starting a while back. As you look at the Western Conference semis, the Lakers, if they win tonight, they'll face, yes, the Denver Nuggets. Congratulations to them for getting back to the Western Conference Finals. But the Rockets have other things in mind here on their home floor, reminiscent perhaps of Game 4 when they pulled off the huge upset to tie this series at 2 apiece. But it's now 3-2 after the big Laker win in Game 5. Good evening, everyone. Along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Green on hand. Doris Burks will join us shortly. So what'll it be? Will the Lakers get that win in advance, or will this tough and gritty Rocket team force that Game 7? Mark, let's start with the Lakers. Denver Nuggets are waiting. Why is it so important for the Lakers to wrap it up tonight?
Well, 2 reasons. First and foremost, you don't want to allow the Denver Nuggets to get too much rest. They took care of their business. Now it's your responsibility as a team to take care of yours. And then carryover effect. Good momentum last game. Get in the habit of playing the right way with a sense of urgency.
Rockets, of course, undermanned. Yao Ming out for the rest of the season after the injury in Game 3. They pulled out that amazing win on Sunday. We were here for that. Do they have another one in them?
I think they do, because they defend every night, they rebound, and then the great equalizer when you're undermanned is the three-point shot. They made 10 in Game 4. They were 5 for 29 in Game 5. They need to make the 3 tonight and defend the 3 well to force a Game 7.
It's been a crazy couple of games. In Game 4, the dominant Rocket win. Game 5, the crushing Laker defeat of the Rockets. So as you look at tonight's starting lineup, presented by the film Taken on DVD. And Andrew Bynum will get the start once again. Lamar Odom, with that bruised back, will come off the bench for the 2nd straight game for head coach Phil Jackson. And for the Houston Rockets, once again, Chuck Hayes, about a foot shorter than Yao Ming, but he is so important for this team. He'll get the start with Scola, Battier, Artest, and Aaron Brooks, who was sensational in Game 4. And let's check in right now with Doris Burks. Hey, Doris.
Hey, Mike, you mentioned Lamar Odom's bruise back. He did say, in fact, that he has still experienced significant pain with that bruise. He said, I feel it most when I go to leave my feet to pursue rebounds or when I am posting up and trying to hold off a defender. He will give it a go tonight, as he did in Game 5, playing 19 minutes. As for Ron Artest and the stomach issue that kept him out of practice this morning, he said he's 100%. The best thing about being a Rocket, free doctors, and they're not that bad, guys.
Well, we'll see. Again, in terms of the best medicine for the Rockets is having this crowd here. They were so vocal last weekend. They are fired up, booing everything Kobe Bryant and the Lakers do. And all the Rockets saying a 40-point loss means nothing. There's been a lot of 40-point losses in NBA playoffs. In fact, that was the 19th time a team has lost 40. Many times a team that loses come back and wins the next game. Let's see if the Rockets can do that. Again, Andrew Bynum getting the start at center. Such a key component for the Lakers in their championship hopes. He had a good, solid Game 5 as he continues his recovery from the knee surgery. He had really been struggling in the playoffs. Every game perhaps a little bit better, according to Bynum. And the crowd fired up. A good start, critical for the Rockets. In all 11 of their playoff games, the team that had the lead after the first quarter won the game. It happened in the Portland series and in all 5 games of the LA Lakers series. There's Chuck Hayes out to Brooks. Brooks the runner. First shot won't go. Trevor Ariza the rebound.
And you see right away the Lakers playing the same defense, not playing man-to-man against Chuck Hayes, using Andrew Bynum, zoning the area.
Hayes guarding Gasol. Ariza tried to get it down to Bynum. And the first turnover of the game. Lakers during the playoffs, they're 2-2 on the road. 1 loss here, 1 loss in Utah in the first round. Rockets, meanwhile, 4-1 at home in the playoffs. They're one of the best home teams in the NBA during the regular season. Is their best home record in 15 years. 5 on the shot clock. Scola left open, likes that elbow jumper. Shooting numbers in game 5 for Houston, just 33%. Jeff, sometimes it just comes down to making shots.
No question, and especially for a team that's undermanned, you're going to have to outshoot your opponent from the three-point line.
Lakers have done an excellent job from the three-point line in the playoffs. Number 2 of all playoff teams. Scola inside, draws the foul. Pau Gasol talking to Bynum after that play, saying, you got to come over and help.
And early on already, I like the patience of the Houston Rockets on the offensive end. 3 trips, 3 solid jobs of moving the basketball. That time, Ron Artest turning down the jump shot, feeding Scola underneath.
And I agree, because Ron Artest, to me, is the ultimate wild card offensively. And he has struggled shooting the ball the last 2 games. Gave up a good open 3 to get a great shot underneath.
Last 2 games, 4 for 19 and 4 for 15. Hasn't been in double figures in either game. And he's missed 12 of his last 13 from three-point range. He can explode for 30 on any given night, but he has been way off on his outside shooting.
Now, I think if you're Ron Artest, you're too skilled offensively as the contact with Chuck Hayes riding Pau Gasol. You're too skilled offensively to just settle with being a three-point shooter.
And not only has he been missing, but he's kind of stalled their offense by holding on to the ball too long, correct?
Yeah, he pounds it a little bit. Aaron Brooks at times pounds it. But that's a huge call right there against Chuck Hayes. He's the one guy, as Artest strips Ariza, Chuck Hayes is the one guy that can body up to Gasol and make it hard for him to post.
He only played 17 minutes in game 5 because of foul problems. Scola against Bynum. Here's Bynum's length, making it difficult. Scola still puts it in, a tough shot. And 6 straight points to start the game for the Rockets.
And that's a very tough shot of a contested hand of Andrew Bynum. But Rick Adelman, you're excited about the start of your group.
Excited about the start of Scola. He's got all 6. Rockets look to push. Good transition defense by the Lakers. Scola has Fisher on him, looking for the open man. Artest back out. Brooks, the extra pass, another open shot. In and out, that one halfway down.
But again, that's great basketball. Guys turning down shots, making plays.
Blocking foul called on Battier. Tried to draw the charge. An aggressive Trevor Ariza will go to the free throw line.
What I love about Scola is on his back-end move. Patience, poise, got back to his favorite left shoulder. Good right-hand jump hook to negate the size advantage of Bynum.
Ariza, he's actually in the playoffs. He's their 3rd leading scorer. Ariza shooting 56% from the field, 53% from three-point range. He's done an excellent job, just continues to grow, a young player that's made a huge difference for them this year.
And he's in a great situation because teams are going to continue to live with him making shots. When you're in the playoffs, you're playing against very good teams. You have to give up something, and teams are willing to give Trevor Ariza open looks.
Ariza, a very good defender, but he's guarding Artest, who has a huge bulk advantage on him. And Artest dribbles it off the foot of Ariza, so it's still Rockets ball, 7 on the 24.
And Coach, I don't know if you agree, but that's a jump shot. If you're Scola, you have to shoot that shot. If Pau Gasol is going to play you in the paint, step in rhythm to shoot that jet.
I agree with that, and I also like Artest thinking drive most of the time until that shot right there.
Hayes, the offensive rebound. Brooks, the water bug, gets inside. Beautiful move from Aaron Brooks. He was the best player on the floor Sunday when he exploded for a career-high 34 in Game 4.
And good adjustment by Brooks. You can't take it to the left as Ron Artest with the steal.
A near-perfect start for the Rockets.
But what I'm saying, Mike, is you can't take it to the length of the Lakers. You have to finish like Tony Parker, teardropping from the dot.
Rockets opened up 9-0 on Sunday in Game 4. They've opened up 10-1 here. Bryant, hand in his face. Excellent defense from Battier. Although Kobe Bryant felt there was a foul. And Brooks too far ahead for Chuck Hayes. Hayes can run, but not that fast. And turnovers will be critical for the 5 games. The Rockets have had more turnovers than assists. Battier fighting under the screen. Bynum, the offensive rebound. And Hayes able to pound.
And to me, LA needs to go into the post to Gasol some.
Foul on Bynum. This crowd, they better pace themselves. They're hyperventilating.
Well, Battier just does what he does. He follows the game plan, he contests shots, and then it's up to Kobe. Does he make or miss? That time, a very good contest, which altered Bryant's shot and made him double clutch.
Brooks steps back. There's a 3. Puts it in. 13-1. And Phil Jackson, who doesn't like to call timeouts early, has to. And here's the first standing ovation of the night.
I tell you what, if this continues, Buster Douglas move over. Talk about the start of the Houston Rockets. Aaron Brooks understands I have to be aggressive offensively, gets into the paint, then knocks down the jumper.
Houston Rockets off to a tremendous start, 13-1. Once again, bouncing back from a disastrous Game 5 in Los Angeles, where they were never in the game, lost by 40. Of course, that followed the terrific Game 4. Not many people outside the Rockets locker room giving them a chance to win the series. Shane Battier not wavering about their chance tonight.
We expect a good effort. We can't promise results, but we expect an effort. We know when we give an effort, we have a shot to win any game because we play hard, and the challenge is great. No question about it. We need to find ways to score and find ways to take care of the ball, but no better place to do it than here.
And they are boosted by the home crowd. Meanwhile, Lamar Odom has come in. Bynum will sit. Also Luke Walton. So Phil Jackson, an early timeout, which is rare, and some early substitutions. Jackson misses. Hayes the rebound. Brooks looking for Scola. Scola. Nice move inside. Scola, 8 points already here in the first quarter.
Somewhere Hakeem Olajuwon is smiling because that's a big-time post move by Louis Scola.
Derek Fisher can't hit. Battier the rebound. This is so reminiscent of the start in Game 4.
I thought they played a lot better in Game 4 than this. This is unbelievable. I mean, they're just pounding them inside, getting whatever they want.
Scola again, and a foul! 17-1.
You talk about Louis Scola coming out aggressive, making plays in the paint, dominating the paint area no matter who is defending him. We saw Bynum, we saw Pau Gasol, and this time puts the dream shape on Lamar.
And they constantly are letting him get to his left shoulder. There's no help or digs to try to make him feel like he's playing in a crowd. Plus, they're letting him get back to his strong shoulder. Inexcusable attention to detail.
Bryant the drive. Tough shot, Bryant. Scola, by the way, he's averaging in the series 11 points per game. He's got 10 points in the first 6 minutes. Bryant picks up Brooks. Artest wants to post up Walton. A lot of dribbling once again. Shot clock at 2. Scola has to put it up. Nope, 24-second violation. Second turnover for the Rockets.
Now you're going to think I'm crazy. So
Before you say anything,
I'm qualified.
You already got a head start.
Right.
I already think.
All right. I'm putting Kobe Bryant on Scola and putting Lamar Odom on Battier. I want someone who wants to compete with him right now. And I don't see any competitive spirit in the post right now defensively.
It's a surprise. I don't think you're crazy for it.
Scola again, this time against Gasol. He's got 12 points.
But it's coming right back to his left shoulder again. The catch is too easy. The jump hook is too easy.
Bynum perhaps makes it a little more difficult for Scola with his size, but he's on the bench right now. Gasol for Bryant. Shot clock at 6. Gasol left open. Lakers 1 for 11 and 3 turnovers. They've scored 3 points in 7 minutes. They had 118 last game. Hayes start test. Artest gets inside the drive. Brooks back to Scola. Up top, Battier just gets it off. Blocked by Bryant and a 24-second violation. About 3 passes too many for the Rockets.
This is, again, too easy. Good catch, good half spin to try to counter the defensive pressure, and then gets right back to his right hand, going to his left shoulder.
Lakers during the playoffs are averaging 13 points per game less on the road than at home as Bryant can't get it to go. Kobe Bryant now 1 for 6 from the field. These Rockets seem to just love this underdog role, and especially the underman role right now. I'm sure they're going to have Yao Ming as Artest gets it in, banks it in. An 18-point lead here in the first quarter.
This is a time you have the right as a coach to take all 5 of them out and give me a new 5. A 5 that wants to compete and play with energy and passion.
Gasol gets inside and able to back it in. Just the second field goal here in the first quarter. Well, Phil Jackson was saying the other day, yes, we do have some Jekyll and Hyde tendencies. They are taking it to extremes. Brooks on the drive, inside to Scola. And he just short-armed it. Bryant the drive, pretty left hand, won't go. Scola the rebound. Scola 12 points and 5 rebounds here in the first quarter. And we still have 3 minutes. Artest continues to struggle from downtown. Fisher. As we go into the 3-minute mark.
You know, I'm sitting there speechless, and the reason why is because I'm amazed at how lackadaisical the Lakers have come out. You're talking about trying to win a championship.
Chuck Hayes.
They're just dominating the paint. And again, it comes back to this. Front court toughness. If you have people who want to protect the basket, you have a chance. If you don't, you have no chance.
Kobe Bryant, good aggressive move right there. And it's this end of the floor that's been such a problem for the Lakers. Rockets shooting 62%.
And they've missed makeable shots on their other one.
Scola again. And Odom the rebound. Fisher pulls up for 3. 2 minutes remaining in a dominant first quarter. Rick Allen wants to talk it over. They're up on their feet again here at the Toyota Center. Luis Scola, who Shane Battier calls the most underrated player in the NBA. What a show he's put on here in the first.
Great competitor, poise in the post, good multiple moves. Quick move, again, back to his right hand, left shoulder, 3-point play opportunity. Rockets up 14 and rolling.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Taco Bell, think outside the bun, and Avis, we try harder.
Through NBA Cares, NBA players are able to make a lasting impact that extends beyond the basketball court. Whether we're building homes or playgrounds for kids and families, stressing the importance of education, or encouraging young people to lead an active, safe, and healthy lifestyle, our goal is the same: to help strengthen and improve our communities. On behalf of the NBA and all of its players, I'm Kobe Bryant of the Los Angeles Lakers. The NBA, where caring happens.
23-9, Rockets off to a terrific start. Kobe Bryant struggling in the early going. Missed 6 of his first 8. Mark Jackson has done an excellent job defensively.
Early, it's the help behind Shane Battier, but it's also Shane Battier keeping a body on Kobe Bryant, following the game plan, the strategy, contesting every shot, not giving him a wide open look, fighting through screens. You talk about when he goes up, you go up as a defender. Doing an outstanding job of not surrendering an inch. Shane Battier says, hey, I stay the course. That's so crucial, making Bryant work. And I tell you what, you give me a choice of anybody that's ever played the game to defend Kobe Bryant, and I am choosing Shane Battier after watching the job that he does.
And they have Bryant shooting the shots they want him to shoot. Long 2-point jump shots.
Artest for 2. Knocks it down. Artest with 6 points.
You know, I think about making that statement, but I really get excited watching Shane Battier stay within his limitations and understand how can I help my team win. It's keeping a body on this guy. He can get 50, and I can play the same defense, but I'm staying the course. It's inspiring.
Jordan Farmar. Farmar hits the 3. Farmar and Shannon Brown have actually played better in this series than Derek Fisher, who had the suspension and has struggled a bit with the speed of Aaron Brooks. Farmar's had a couple of double-figure scoring games, both in games 3 and game 5. Scola again. Knocks it down. 14 first-quarter points for Luis Scola.
And that's the shot he has to take. Missed the previous one. Continue to step it. If they're going to give you that shot, you got to trust your ability.
His high in this series is 12, so he's already exceeded that here in the opening period. Gasol short. Scola, his 7th rebound.
You know what's disappointing with the Lakers? Magic Johnson in the studio had more passion about the disappointing loss than anybody in a Laker uniform or in a suit and tie.
Battier thought he got hit. Here's Farmar.
You're right, Mark. They blew it off when they got blown out. And I think when you let it go too easily, it's hard to learn from.
Farmar trying again. Back-to-back threes for Jordan Farmar. Huge shots, and despite the complete dominance, it's only 12.
Yeah, but the point is, if I'm the Los Angeles Lakers, I'm not thinking about just the Houston Rockets. I'm thinking about winning the championship and what we have to do. You have to develop the right habits to be in position to win it all.
They had a foul to give, so Farmar wraps up Brooks, and the Rockets will take it out of bounds.
And I'm going to say this, they better start thinking about the Houston Rockets. If they let it get to a 1 game for all the marbles, who knows what can happen.
Gasol was even saying, they asked him, was game 5 a statement game? He said, we'll see, because you just don't know. As talented as they are, Artest at the buzzer, and that's off the mark. What a first quarter for Luis Scola. He's averaging in this series just 11 points per game, but he's got 14 here in the first. Also has 7 rebounds, throwing a couple of assists. Rockets led by as many as 18 here in the first period. Once again, jumped out on top. And after the first 12 minutes, they lead by a dozen.
Welcome back to Houston with Lakers coach Phil Jackson. Coach, you said earlier this week your team has a little bit of Jekyll and Hyde in it. What most disturbed you about the way your guys came out?
Well, we just didn't come out hitting the shots. I thought we played all right, but for the shot selections and the shots that we took, you know, they came out, played the same game they played Sunday afternoon.
Luis Scola hurt you in that first period. Anything you'd like to see different with him?
Well, Powell has to pick up the level of intensity he's playing out there. He's playing a lackluster kind of game. We have to get him going.
Thank you.
All right, Doris. Players themselves tried to get them going. Pretty heated huddle after the first quarter. Guys trying to urge each other on. See Jordan Farmar. See Kobe Bryant with Pau Gasol trying to fire him up.
You know, but I got a problem with what Phil Jackson just said. It's not about making or missing shots. It's about being thoroughly outplayed and not stepping up to the challenge as Bryant knocks down the shot. You have a Houston Rockets team that's limited, shoot 57%, get 27 points, and you're trying to close them out. You have to begin to hold each other accountable, and they are not doing that.
And I like this Laker team with 2 point guards, Brown and Farmar in the game, putting Bryant at the small forward.
Odom, the block, leads to Brown's layup. It's going to be a blocking foul on Kyle Lowry. And Shannon Brown, who can get up, he's going to go to the line for 2. All starts on the defensive end with Odom's defense and the block.
And you got to begin to figure it out. Give Lamar Odom credit. Good job of stepping up the score and not allowing them to shoot in rhythm, contest a shot, gets the block shot, and then good things happen when you get stops on the defensive end.
And the Rockets right now have to realize Ron Artest was being guarded by Shannon Brown. They've got to get him in the post and force the double team, and that'll open up their game.
And I think if you're the Rockets also, if you want to expose that matchup, if you're Ron Artest, make the right decisions. Don't just begin to pound it and pound it and pound it. Trust the guys around you if the double team comes.
Farmar putting some pressure on Lowry, the backup point guard, who was acquired in February from Memphis and has done a very solid job for this team. Here, now they're trying to get to Artest. Kobe Bryant is on him. Landry has Brown on him. Scola lost it. All of a sudden, Rockets playing hot potato with the basketball. Shot clock at 3. Battier's got to put it up. Puts it in. Nice poise on what was a shaky possession for most of the 24.
I like what Phil Jackson's doing also, leaving Kobe Bryant in the ball game. Normally, this is a time where he would rest. You got to understand, we can't live to just think about Game 7. We have to take care of this game and get back in it.
Good deflection from Battier. Still Laker ball.
And going to that point, Mark, 2 days off between games. That has been every other day for a while. So rest won't, or fatigue won't be a factor if it goes to Game 7 anyway.
Single coverage with Battier. Bryant shoots and misses. Scola, his 8th rebound.
But isolating like that, shooting long jump shots, without dribble penetration, it's hard to open up the offensive board to second shots. Again, the Rockets will live with those shots all night long.
Pass inside Landry. Landry blocked by Odom. Another rejection ball knocked loose, nearly goes in. And Odom comes up with it. Odom trying to get active. Has been here in the second. Bryant across the lane. Boy, Battier making it so tough. Landry comes out of the pack. Here comes Lowry. Artest for 3. Bang!
Good job getting stops. Shane Battier, outstanding defense. If you're Kobe Bryant, at some point you have to look to loosen him up by making plays to other guys.
Odom, the offensive board.
To me, Odom's got to go to work against Landry on the block.
Odom backs in using his right hand. Won't go. Bynum's going to be called for a loose ball foul. And that's 2 on Andrew Bynum.
It is impossible to play better defense without fouling. Stays down until Bryant elevates, and then Shane Battier does the same thing. Keep a body on him. Don't commit a foul. One thing you don't want to do with great scorers, allow them to get to the foul line and get a rhythm shooting free throws.
Landry, part of that Rockets bench. Artest tried to jam it in there. Farmar quickly and able to put it in. Farmar's speed so important for the Lakers. And just like that, back to 12.
Great job by Rick Adelman. When Bryant went out, Adelman took out Battier as well to match their rest periods during the game.
Mark Wunderlich nearly teed up Farmar and said, all right, let him get a little emotion out. Farmar then apologized to him. It's still Rockets up by double figures. One of the fun parts of this series has been watching maybe the best pure scorer in the NBA go up against one of the top perimeter defenders in the NBA, and these two guys mutual respect.
I just try to demolish him. And he tries to do the same thing to me.
There's a certain giddy up in his step when you know he's out for for blood.
I try to go for the jugular, and he tries to do the same thing, so it's fun.
He's out for blood almost every night. It's just a matter of what level of blood he's going for.
Two guys that play as hard as any two players in the NBA. Every second they're out on the floor.
Totally different personalities, but both great competitors. And for Shane Battier, there is no Kobe stopper, but there are guys who can slow him down a little bit. And that's what Battier is able to do by making him take contested two-point jump shots. That's all you can ask of any defender on a great player like Bryant.
They both rest right now. Artest, Von Wafer, Luis Scola, Carl Landry, and Kyle Lowry in the game right now. Two starters for the Rockets. Meanwhile, Sasha Vujacic making his first appearance. Shot clock at 7. Lowry the jump shot. And good pursuit from Luke Walton.
And if I'm LA, I have to get Pau Gasol in the post against Scola.
Offensive foul. Gasol picks up his second.
A good post opportunity for Gasol. A little jostling. Again, that's 50-50 to me between flop and a poor choice by Gasol.
Good cell job by Scola. And a foul away from the ball down the other end. That call, by the way, was made by Mark Wunderlich. Now, Wunderlich was the official in the Denver-Dallas game that was in front of that play that didn't make the call in the final seconds where Carmelo Anthony was fouled. The NBA said that he missed the call. Wunderlich knows that he missed the call. He's one of the best officials in the NBA. It's his 19th year in the league. And nobody felt worse about it than he did. Didn't sleep. But he heard from a lot of people who supported him. He heard his share of criticism, too. But he's right back calling another good game as Landry throws it down.
I wish the NBA would apologize when LJ got the 4-point play when Jeff Van Gundy was a Knicks coach and they moved on.
Apologize for a good call? Why would you apologize for a good call? And that's like, you guys didn't get a benefit of the doubt in Market Square Arena. Marcus Camby, offensive foul call. I mean, he got a charge for a block game, too. That thing was over.
Look, at some point, you got to let it go, man.
I'm talking to both of you when you let it go. Goodness gracious. Artest, a three-pointer. Ron Artest in and out.
Well, it looks like the Lakers have let it go a little bit.
Lead back up to 14. It was as high as 18. The game started on a 21-3 run. Loose ball foul called on Scola, and that's 2 on Scola. Nope, check that one. Chuck Hayes will come back in.
One thing you want to do if you're a guy coming off the bench as the crowd acknowledges Luis Scola, you want to continue the effort, intensity that was established early on. And Carl Landry does a good job off the dribble penetration by Lowry, finishing at the rim.
Ariza looking to get it to Gasol. Hayes backing on him. Here's the double. Walton steps back. He'll try a 3. Vujacic, good hustle for the offensive board. Ball deflected by Hayes. 7:26 remaining here in the second. This is game 6. Lakers trying to win and advance to the conference finals where they'll play Denver. That series would start Sunday in Los Angeles. If the Rockets win, game 7 also at Staples on Sunday afternoon. Vujacic and Gasol playing a 2-man game.
That's a good way of getting Chuck Hayes off the body of Gasol. Dribble penetration, pick and roll so he can pop in rhythm and have Hayes running out at him as opposed to leaning on.
Wafer rattles around and goes in. Another one of the unsung heroes for the Rockets. They've got their share of non-drafted players, second-round players. Vujacic able to put it in. 37-25. Still a dozen for the Rockets. With 6.5 to go here in the second. Lowry, hard drive to the basket. Oh, pretty move from Kyle Lowry.
Again, if you're the Lakers, you have to be discouraged when a guy can drive it from 35 feet to the basket with no resistance.
Hayes and Landry fighting each other. You know, we're talking so much about the Lakers and their lack of real intensity to start the game, but on the other hand, the Rockets just playing so hard and with such desperation. Wafers three. That's good. It's back up to 17. Timeout. Nope. Bill Jackson, yeah, you couldn't hear the whistle. He had told Monty McCutcheon, who blew the whistle, players kept going because you couldn't hear it. The roar here at the Toyota Center continues.
It's all about the ability to dribble penetrate. Here, great blow-by drive by Lowry, good body control, and a good finish. And then good read by Von Wafer, stepping behind the penetration, knocking down the wide open three-point shot. Rockets back up by 17.
Back in the studio, Sports Center right now, brought to you by Sprint. Hey, the Detroit Red Wings defeat Anaheim on a Dan Cleary goal to break a 3-3 tie right there with 3 minutes to go. They move on to play Chicago in the Western Conference Finals. By the way, Bruins and Hurricanes tied it 2 apiece. Meanwhile, Dwight Howard leads the way for Orlando with 23 points, 22 boards, as Game 7 now around the bend for the Magic against Boston. Sports Center on ESPN2 at 11. Guys?
All right, Mark. The Magic, a great victory to keep that series alive and force a Game 7. There could be a couple of Game 7s on Sunday if the Rockets win tonight. Sunday on ABC, 3:30 Eastern. It'll be the Rockets and the Lakers Game 7. But if the Lakers win, it's Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. And then our friends at TNT will definitely have a Game 7. Orlando at Boston. Interesting that as Kobe Bryant knocks it down, that Mr. Dwight Howard had a huge game after all the controversy last couple of days down with the Orlando Magic.
Well, you expected him to come with the pressure on him and play, but I'm gonna be truthful. I was disappointed in Dwight Howard going at his head coach Stan Van Gundy, because talk about yourself and your disappointing play down the stretch. I can remember playing with Patrick Ewing. He'd have gotten in the huddle and said, "Get me the basketball." And also, if you're going to point the finger at Stan Van Gundy, then point the finger at yourself and then the guys on the floor that didn't get you the ball also.
Amen.
Good song.
No, I was fortunate. I coached great players, truly great players, as Chuck Hayes is called for a foul, who never looked to blame others without taking personal responsibility and accountability. And my whole problem is, hey, coaches make mistakes, teammates make mistakes, but there was not one comment after the game about what he could have done better. This is a true response by a really fine player, coming out there and getting a 20-20 and helping your team win. Don't really worry about who's going to get blamed. Just worry about doing everything you can to help your team win a game, and everyone will get the credit.
And that's what your brother Stan had said afterwards. He's like, hey, after a game, there's emotions. He said what he said, but we talked about it. His only concern was having Dwight Howard's mind all set for an important game, and he certainly was, as they pulled off a terrific victory. They were down by 10 in the third quarter, came back and won, and their season's still alive.
And now, if you're a great player, like Howard, you win Game 7. You don't just get excited about one good home game. You finish it off.
Offensive foul. Battier steps in and draws the charge on Kobe Bryant. That's his first. Well outside of the restricted area, good defensive play.
But I didn't think he got there before Bryant started in his upward position. I thought that should have been a block.
Shot clock at 9. Artest kicks it out. Good ball movement from the Rockets. And a kick ball. So they'll reset the shot clock from 5 to 14. Brooks back in. Small Carlos guy on the court who has played some very big minutes for the Rockets. So far tonight, 5 points.
And that's actually outstanding minutes from Kyle Lowry coming off the bench. Has a way of calming this team down and executing the offense.
Shot clock down to 5. Artest again, lots of dribbling. Fires up the jumper. That won't go. Odom. And he's fouled. Scola picks up the personal. That's going to be 3 or 2 on Scola. That's 2. Odom is a terrific rebounder.
And early on already, we're witnessing him dominating that end. He's taking care of his business on the board. I don't like that possession by the Rockets. That's the Ron Artest that they don't need. Dominating the ball, playing one-on-one and jacking up shots. You can do that when you've established a rhythm for a heat check, but not when you're trying to close the door.
Odom coming off the bench.
They've been most effective when there's been ball movement and man movement. This is a one-on-one play by Ron Artest against a very good defender in Trevor Ariza. Move the basketball and force this Laker team to play team defense.
Odom 1 for 2. Coming up on 4 minutes remaining here in the second. Rockets have led right from the start. We're up 10-1, 21-3. Artest forcing things. Bryant, good open look for 3. Can't get it to go. And a loose ball foul is going to go against the Rockets.
Now, how many forwards in this league can defensive rebound, lead a break, kick it to a great player who misses, and try to secure the offensive rebound and get fouled? There are very few players that have the skill set that Lamar Odom has.
Well, John Black, the longtime PR man for the Lakers, I thought he gave him a great nickname. He calls him the human Swiss Army knife. He can do so many things out on the floor.
Well, this is just good help defense by Odom. Blocks a shot, rebounds, busts it out. Great decision to Bryant. Wide open 3. And then draw the loose ball foul and get back to the free throw line.
And a bruised lower back in Game 4. Game 5 played about 18.5 minutes. And coming off the bench once again here in Game 6.
To me, the Rockets have to find a way to get Scola in the post some instead of always Artest.
Brooks on the drive. Gets inside up top, straight on 3. Battier. And Odom another rebound. Quick outlet to Fisher. Fisher trying to draw some contact. Good defense once again from Shane Battier. And a foul on Odom down the other end. First foul on Odom. 14th foul on the Lakers.
You look at that last possession by the Rockets. Ron Artest got rid of the basketball. Shane Battier winds up with a wide open 3. That's a shot you can live with. It's off of the patience of Artest.
Scola trying to draw the foul. Won't go, but he'll shoot 2. Odom, his second.
You know, right now, Luis Scola is playing like that old man at the YMCA that just finds a way to make plays and gets on your nerves. But he winds up being the first or second pick because you know he simply does everything to put you in position to win.
Do they have YMCA in Argentina?
Scola, part of that team from Argentina, won the gold medal in 2004. Last year was his rookie year. He was the oldest rookie in the NBA. He's now 29 years old after playing 9 years of pro ball in Europe. I remember Tracy McGrady one time saying, he scares me. He's like a vicious pit bull. The guy's got a nice smile, very congenial, pleasant to talk to and be around, but he is so competitive out on the floor. Won a bunch of championships over in Europe and had a very quick adjustment to playing in the NBA.
Mark, I don't know if you're surprised, but I'm surprised Jordan Farmar only has played a little bit over 5 minutes in this game. I thought he was playing very, very well and gave LA a good spark.
Bryant with a quick spark there. Farmar had 8 points in that brief time, Jeff.
I'm very surprised, and the reason why is because you talk about Jordan Farmar probably being lost right now as a player, thinking, what do I have to do to get minutes? When I play well, I'm on the bench. When I don't play well, I'm on the bench.
Battier blocked by Bryant. Kobe Bryant once again defensively. He's got 3 blocks already. Ariza in and out. Bynum the rebound. Back up with the left hand. Won't go, and Battier able to grab it. Lakers trying to make some runs. They've trailed by as many as 18. Scola, there's that spin move. Reverse backs it in. 18 for Luis Scola.
That's just bad defense. That is awful defense.
And Artest trying to walk away from Kobe Bryant after the 2. And a technical foul call on Kobe Bryant. Bryant and Artest banged into each other. Artest was upset, and he kind of ran away from the situation as opposed to confronting Bryant. Scola trying to calm him down. Artest was ejected from 2 games earlier in this series, one because of a flagrant 2 foul that was later rescinded. Here it is. I don't know if that's a little bit of an overreaction from Artest.
I have a huge problem with this. What is the technical foul for?
It's going to be a timeout call on the Lakers. That's his 5th technical of the playoffs. You get 7, you're suspended for a game.
That's a joke.
ESPN Films presents Kobe Doing Work, directed by Spike Lee and presented by Commercial Free on ESPN. Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, a day in the life of Kobe Bryant from last year with Spike Lee following him. Meanwhile, Kobe Bryant just got hit with a technical foul after him and Artest got together. And bang, let's take a look at the play once again. Artest clearly sells this. And not just a personal foul, but a technical foul. Artest, you see his head snap back. The left forearm didn't look like it really connected at all, and that might be an overreaction to what's gone on earlier in the series with the 2 of them.
What has gone on? What has gone on?
Well, they came very close to
what?
An altercation.
No, they didn't. Kobe Bryant hit him with a legitimate elbow blocking out. Ron Artest gave his displeasure. He got a technical foul. They haven't come close to anything. This is an overreaction to perceived physical altercations.
Now the 2 of them talking about Artest is being very calm about the matter, and I think they probably both think the same thing. The personal foul was called on Artest before the shove, and then the technical foul.
Well, Mike, if you was Ron Artest, you'd be calm about it too. You sold the play, you got free throws, you got a technical foul on Kobe Bryant. That's an awful call, no question about it. A missed call, and I'm sure the referees will go in at halftime and recognize a mistake was made.
And this was just a little while ago after the play, the 2 very calmly talking about it. We've seen that throughout the playoffs.
No, Kobe just told him he flopped, and that's exactly what happened.
Quick technicals, some flagrant suspensions, officials being overly cautious. That's the way it's come. It's become a hot topic in terms of how much do you let go? Is it getting
This isn't even a physical series. The game is not allowed to be physical. There's nothing to worry about. You don't have to overreact. You don't have to prevent anything. There's nothing to prevent.
And I totally agree. Your job as a ref is not to be overly cautious. Call the game as it happens.
Artest with a hand in his face comes up short. Let's see if this ignites Kobe Bryant. He usually gets fired up after plays like that. Brooks whips it out. Battier for 3. And Farmar is back in the game to rebound. Ball knocked loose. Farmar lost it. Brooks picks it up. And again, you guys laughed at me the other day, but that's 5 technicals on Kobe Bryant. And I agree with you. He didn't deserve one there. But on the 7th one of the playoffs, you get suspended for a game. He's got to be careful. Sometimes you get caught.
How can you be careful? You didn't deserve it. What do you want him to do? sit down? That movie doing work, he's going to be sitting over there doing work.
Now, to bring that up, Jeff, the NBA could look at that and rescind the technical and say he didn't deserve a technical for that. So
yeah, but you just gave him a point in a critical game.
But I'm talking about for the possible suspension as there's a blocking foul.
I know, but that's why you don't overreact. You're not just allowing them to rescind it later. You're giving people unearned points.
That's the third foul on Hayes, so he's in a little bit of foul difficulty. Coming up at halftime, it's the Toyota halftime show. We'll join Mark Jones, Avery Johnson, and Jalen Rose. They'll have analysis of the first half, plus the terrific victory for the Magic in Orlando, tying that series up to 3 games apiece. Game 7 coming up in Boston on Sunday. As a reason, this is the first free throw.
I got legitimate guys that have played in this league for a long time blowing up my phone right now saying, what is going on? What is going on? That is a bad call, and it's disappointing to watch time and time again.
Now the Lakers upset with Monica McCutcheon on that call on Farmar.
See, but to me, I'm not as upset with this one technical. This is how they're told to call it. That's nothing either.
I mean, that's not a foul.
That's not a foul. But my point is, I don't have a problem with the individual officials. I have more of a problem with how they're being directed to call these technicals and flagrants. To me, this is coming down from their bosses. It's not just them.
Yeah, but in my opinion, I got to be mad at that call. That's nobody's order to make that call. That's you as a referee saying that Kobe Bryant drew contact and you overreact. That's bad refereeing.
Brooks hits the free throw. Now, several years ago, it was David Stern after the brawl at the Palace. They really cracked down on that stuff. It's something that's talked about. Now the question is, have they gone too far? Have they let start and call it too tight? It's something the NBA constantly monitors and addresses. Bryant throws it down because it seems in these playoffs that you guys talk about is true. Maybe it's getting too much in terms of trying to police it.
You know what I'm interested in? Why is Artest starting Kobe right now instead of Battier? And he's been on him for a number of possessions in this second quarter.
Shot clock at 6. Scola, pass deflected, out to Brooks. Brooks for 3, that's good. Bryant, it'll count if it goes. Kobe Bryant not happy as his team will go into the locker room down by 16. A little different story from Game 5. What a roller coaster ride this series has been. Luis Scola, sensational in the first half for the Rockets with 18 points, 9 rebounds. He's with Doris.
Luis, I think most people thought after you got beat by 40, you'd have a hard time coming out here and responding. What has allowed you guys to dominate this first half?
Well, you know, we knew it's a win-or-go-home game. We got to give everything we have. We know we play hard and we play the way we have to. We got chances. We played exactly the way we wanted to play in the pregame plan, and that's why we're 15 up. When we didn't do it, we lose by 40. That's just exactly the way it is.
You had a terrific half offensively. Where did you personally hurt the Lakers?
I'm sorry?
You had a terrific half offensively. Where did you hurt them?
Well, you know, Yaz out, Tracy's out. Everybody got to put a little bit more than usually. There's going to be more shots. We just got to make them.
Thank you very much. Mike?
Well, the Rockets were down 27 at halftime of Game 5. They're up by 16 at halftime of Game 6. Our halftime, the Toyota halftime show. Mark Jones, Avery Johnson, and Jalen Rose. We'll look more into the first half of this one and a terrific Magic win in Orlando to force a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference semifinals. 2 quarters complete here in Houston. Rockets trying to keep their season alive and force a Game 7 on Sunday. 2 quarters complete at the Toyota Center. Rockets 52, Lakers 36. This was Kobe Bryant and the Lakers after they fell behind 21-3 in the first half, trailing by 18. They cut it to 10 a couple of times. But as we get set for the third quarter, The Lakers find themselves down by 16. A lot of similarities to Game 4. Our World of Warcraft first half stats. Shooting numbers for the Rockets, excellent. As the Lakers really struggled scoring from the field. What a difference a game makes after losing by 40 in Game 5. Rockets have bounced back beautifully here in Game 6. And hello again, everyone, with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. Mike Green on hand. We'll check in with Doors in just a moment. Just a wild first half again here on their home floor. And you always wonder who's the guy that's going to pick up the slack for the team. Luis Scola was the guy for the Rockets.
Well, he did. He went to work on the Lakers in the low post.
And that, of course, part of our Gatorade cooler talk.
And you watch here, he's backing in. He's always going to get back to his right hand jump hook, but no contest by Andrew Bynum. You've got to leave your feet. Do your work early. Again, deep post catch. He's at 6 feet from the basket. No contest by Gasol. And then this is just great footwork. Half spin, spins right by Lamar Odom for the layup.
And you see Scola averaging 11 points a game in the series. His high in the series is 12. And he has 18. All right, so now the Lakers, again, a couple of times they got back into the game, but they're down by a huge number. What's the key for them, Mark, to get back into it?
Well, they have to play with a sense of urgency. That's top to bottom. Right now, they're going through the motions, and they're being exposed by a Houston Rockets team that's outworking them. You talk about pick-and-roll defense. Derek Fisher jumps on the side. Scola makes the adjustment. 4 guys should be in position to help. Everyone knows in this situation, Aaron Brooks is having his way. Nobody there. The help is too late. How about Kyle Lowry? The blow-by straight line to the rim makes the play for Landry. And then, once again, 35 feet away, no help. Able to get all the way to the cup. Lethargic defense by the Lakers. Keep on doing what you're doing. You're going to keep getting what you're getting. Make an adjustment.
And again, what's so surprising is after Game 4, where so many people called out the Lakers, rightfully so, after a poor effort, poor performance, they came back, looked so terrific. Their best game of the playoffs in Game 5. They said all the right things. Said, all right, they know they need to focus, and here they are once again in another huge hole. Against a team missing key players in Yao Ming, Tracy McGrady. Gasol double, ball deflected. Ariza, nice little fake and an extra pass. Fisher for 3. And Brooks the rebound.
An untold story that first half was Chuck Hayes' defense against Gasol. There, he could not get anywhere he wanted in his back down move. I think Gasol has to face Hayes up and try to go off the dribble.
It's amazing as Brooks kicks it out. Bad pass stolen by Ariza, and it's going to be an easy 2 for Ariza. Now, a guy like Chuck Hayes, who's averaging 2 points per game in a series, has such a pivotal role on who wins and loses.
Well, he is a legitimate post stopper. You can shoot over him, but you're not going to back him down.
He's almost a foot smaller than Yao Ming, the man he replaced in the starting lineup. They list him as 6'6". Brooks dribbled it off the foot of Bynum. And a kick ball as we check in with Doris.
Guys, the Los Angeles Lakers talked in their locker room about the defensive end of the floor, saying essentially we need to affect Houston and not allow them such freedom operating in their offense. And I asked about the offensive end of the floor with them shooting 31%. They felt like once they got down, they abandoned their offense and went to too much individual play on the offensive end. It's all about poise and composure, despite the fact that they are down by significant numbers, guys.
All right, Doris, thank you, Brooks. This is that 3-pointer. Battier trying to guard Bryant. Back out. Ariza open for 3. Hits it again. How about Trevor Ariza from 3-point range in the playoffs at 53%?
And that's why if you run on test, you got to run to the body of Trevor Ariza. You can't let him step in rhythm for a 3-pointer.
Ball, we're going to call an offensive foul on Ron Artest.
And this is good ball movement. Bryant with the drive, finding Ariza. If you're Ron Artest, you got to run him off the spot. Send him into the help defense. He didn't, and he paid the price.
Artest just looked over to Tom Washington and kind of asked him, is that 2 or 3 fouls? Washington had no idea. That's the second foul on Artest.
But you got to like the Lakers' intensity defensively to start this half.
Gasol Nice left hand. And a 7-0 run to start the third quarter. Brooks. Scola on the drive, trying to draw some contact, can't get it to go. Here comes Kobe Bryant. Ariza will try another three. Test may have gotten a piece of it, gets back to Kobe Bryant in his hands, and a blocking foul call on Scola. That's going to be his third.
Coach, you touched on it. What you like about the Lakers to start this third quarter is multiple effort plays on both ends of the floor, keeping the ball alive, contesting shots. Just a better job of setting the tone in this third quarter.
7 straight points to start the third. They're within 9.
What I do have are a very particular set of skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
Led by Kareem and Magic, the Lakers become the first NBA team in playoff history to sweep back-to-back best-of-7 series, taking them to the NBA Finals.
No sweeps for the Lakers in this series. They lead 3-2, down by 9, but have started to turn around. Mark, here in the third quarter, a 7-0 run. What do you like?
And no secret, it starts on the defensive end. I like that they're competing. You talk about fighting over the screen, high hands to contest by Derek Fisher. So now he stays in front, he's low, and he lifts when Aaron Brook lifts. How about the big guys using your length, and then Trevor Ariza reading the passing lane? You get good defense, you get transition points, and then unselfish play. Dribble drive, Bryant kicks it to Ariza. That's the way the Lakers have to play.
Kobe Bryant to the line. Yesterday, Bryant named first-team All-NBA for the 7th time in his career.
But you know, that's the point I was making earlier. The Lakers can turn it on and off against this Houston Rockets team. Without Yao Ming, they can turn it on and off and still win this series. As you advance, you can't succeed doing that against the Denver Nuggets or the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Having that hairline fracture in the foot in Game 3. The team responded unbelievably well in Game 4. What a thrilling game it was here. Trying to duplicate that game here tonight. Battier, that's a 3. Scola right there on the fire.
And that was, again, a pretty good defensive sequence. Gasol fought Scola harder in the post. They got an open 3, but they've got to block out and finish their defense.
Kick ball, a little inbound.
Well, when you're in rotation and you have Bynum chasing out to the corner, someone else has got to help the helper and put a body on Luis Scola.
What I like to see in that situation is perimeter guys also rebounding. You have a responsibility to rebound also.
Gasol back to Ariza. Knocked out of bounds by Artest. 6 left on the 24. Bryant looking. Battier right on top of him. Bryant hits a 3-pointer. And it's a 6-point game. This is the closest they've been since the early minutes, Mark.
That's a similar play that they ran last game. You got to understand what they're trying to do. How can they hurt me, and what are they trying to run in these situations? That's a mental breakdown by the Rockets.
Kobe starting to heat up. Brooks steps back. Can't get it to go. Bryant the rebound.
And that was a great block out by Fisher. Just what you were talking about, Mark. Perimeter players. Fisher put his body on Scola and made it hard for him.
Gasol misses. Bynum. Battier dives on the floor, as does Gasol. Good effort from both teams. Now we'll have a jump ball.
All you want is your guys to compete. This is good competitive basketball by both teams. The ball hits the floor. Guys from each team on the ground. That's just good, solid, hard play in basketball.
Gasol will jump.
You know, Mike, as a young coach, I can remember Jeff Van Gundy diving, showing us how to get after a loose ball in the middle of practice.
Did he really?
I will never forget it.
Yeah, I also took a charge on Luther Head. I still remember this at USF because he hadn't taken a charge his entire career, and he knocked me into the wall. He hit me so hard, and he was a little guy. I never did that again.
We all remember the flagrant foul on Alonzo Mourning.
Oh, sorry. That hasn't been talked about.
Ariza. That's a three. And Battier the rebound. A good start here in the third quarter for the Lakers, who trailed by as many as 18 in the first half. Brooks. And Scola, and a foul call on the pass, so the Rockets will take it out.
That whole scramble situation started with Luis Scola beating the bigs of the Lakers down and forcing a double team because Trevor Ariza had to pick him up.
Artest wants it. Look at the post up Ariza. Ariza's doing a good job on him. Battier lost it. Good defense from Kobe Bryant. And Ariza surveys the situation. Gasol deep in the paint. Dumps it in. 4-point game.
And what I like more, you look at the Lakers bench right now. They're up. They understand this is how you win. You got to be locked and loaded, ready to compete from top to bottom. All of a sudden, it's inspiring watching this team play.
A 14-2 run to start the third quarter. Rockets turn it over. That's their fourth here of the period, 10th for the game. Gasol kicks it out. Up top, Fisher. Fisher for three. Won't go. Bynum keeps it alive. And stripped and stolen by Hayes.
Good activity by Bynum. He's just got to keep the ball higher when he secures the rebound.
Bill Jackson told us he played big in Game 5, meaning he played like a 7-footer. Scola flips it up and won't get the roll. Ball batted around. Bynum comes down with it.
And you see the Lakers right now making an adjustment. They are double teaming Luis Scola, big on big. Andrew Bynum leaving Chuck Hayes and forcing Scola into tough.
Bryant, triple team, gets away, puts it up, and draws the foul. Shane Battier raises his hand, but it's not on him, it's on Chuck Hayes. And that's 4 on Chuck Hayes.
There's Kobe Bryant trying to make a play. Comes off the pick and roll. He is in full attack mode. Creates the contact. Shane Battier wants to take the pressure off of Chuck Hayes, but the referee says no. The foul on Hayes.
Log on to NBA.com for the most extensive playoff coverage and in-depth highlights of tonight's Lakers-Rockets, as well as up-to-date scores, stats, and schedules from the postseason. NBA.com. The game happens here. Second game of our Game 6 doubleheader. First one saw Orlando even things up with Boston. And the Magic and Celtics will play a Game 7 on Sunday night. Right now, the Rockets trying to force a Game 7, but they've been outscored 16-2 here in this third quarter.
Just the energy and the effort is so much different to start the second half than it was to start the game. And this is the standard the Lakers should hold themselves to.
In Game 4, they put themselves in such a hole, down by 29, that they couldn't recover. The biggest deficit here tonight was 18, and it was in the first quarter. Gasol puts it up. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Scola. Scola trying to plead his case, and he's got to be careful. Lakers get a new 24. We just showed the replay on the big screen. The crowd obviously disagrees. With the steal. Inside, count it, and a foul. Boy, do the Rockets need that as Landry with a chance for a three-point play.
Careless turnover by Kobe Bryant on one end, trying to thread the needle. getting the ball to Pau Gasol, and what the Houston Rockets do, make them pay for the careless play. Good job, Battier, active hands, and then off to the races. Get the ball into the hands of Aaron Brooks, a scoring one, but this time makes a crisp bounce pass to Landry. On point, gets the basket in the contest.
Landry 5 points off the bench. The Rockets back up by 5. To Bryant. Kobe Bryant lifts up, puts it in. 23 for Kobe Bryant.
Bryant actually upset, felt like there was contact on the shot attempt by Battier.
He's got 9 points already here in the third. Brooks tied up. Landry can score, gets it out to Scola. Scola way short. Battier the rebound and backs it in. Just his second field goal. The Rockets finally getting some buckets. Scola went for the steal, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Gasol.
The entry pass into Gasol has to be firmer. It's looped too much, which allows Scola to circle the baseline and get the deflection. That ball has to be thrown firmly right into his chest.
And I totally agree, but I'm not going to let Pau Gasol off the hook. As a big man, you have to meet the pass, be more aggressive, and want the ball.
Brooks, that's a three. Wade right back up to 8, and Phil Jackson wants a timeout. The Rockets weather the first storm here in the third quarter. After being outscored 16-2 to start the period, they've responded with an 8-2 run of their own.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs. Brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Mark Jones with the Sports Center right now. Scott Walker of the Carolina Hurricanes scored his first career playoff goal as they defeat Boston 3-2. They move on to play Pittsburgh next. They won the series against the Bruins 4-3. Bad night to be a Boston sports fan because the Celtics lost to Orlando behind Dwight Howard's 23 points and 22 rebounds. Game 7 on Sunday. Not only that, Mike, the Red Sox lost in extra innings.
All right, Mark. Well, we look forward to that Game 7 on Sunday. Will there be another Game 7 on Sunday? Rockets weather the storm. An 18-point lead cut to 2, but Shane Battier, big plays, Mark.
Well, here's the Lakers. They have an opportunity to tie the score. Somebody has to stop the bleeding. Active hands comes up with the steal, and then offensive rebound and the putback. That's an outstanding job making sure you execute on both ends.
And Battier working so hard on the defensive end to try and make life a little difficult for Kobe Bryant.
Mike, I don't think it's too strong to say Shane Battier is a born winner. He has every quality that you're looking for to be a complementary player on a championship team.
As we said earlier, Aaron Brooks said every team should have somebody like Shane Battier in terms of competitiveness, professionalism. Farmar, he was hot early. Not that time, rebound tipped and taken by Artest.
When you think about the Rockets that time, doubled off of Farmar with Aaron Brooks, allowing him to step in rhythm.
And an offensive foul call. Did Battier lean into Farmar?
No, it was on Carl Landry.
Yeah, it was on Landry away from the ball. Landry looking for an explanation.
You know, Coach, if I'm Jordan Farmer, that's an adjustment I have to make. I have to recognize they're doubling off on me. I'm going to catch and be aggressive.
And it doesn't have to just be three-point shots. It can be dribble penetration. He has the quickness. The Rockets have no shot blocking in the game. You can get to the basket.
Rockets starting to turn it over here in the third quarter. 5 after only 6 in the entire first half. Bryant gets hit and he gets knocked down where he'll go right back to the line.
And I like what he did in that situation. First of all, Farmer didn't force anything. The rotation came, got rid of the basketball, and then Bryant, instead of settling for the 3, you got to find a way offensively to stop the bleeding. Get to the free throw line, puts the ball on the floor, aggressive, hard move, creates the contact, and go into the line.
Bryant 6 for 6 from the free throw line. In the big third quarter, after a bit of a slow start, Strong second quarter as well, so he's had double figures in each the second and third.
This must be a tight spot. Phil Jackson's out of his seat.
Scola. 5 on the shot clock. Artest back to Scola. Good extra pass. Back shot's good. Lead back to 8.
And that's actually good execution on both sides. That's good defense from the Lakers, better offense from the Rockets.
Most points Scola has scored in the 2009 playoffs. Now 22. Gasol trying to find some room. Back to Bryant. Inside. Gets it to go.
When Gasol puts that ball on the floor, very few bigs have the lateral quickness to move with him.
Brooks on the drive. Gets inside. Blocked by Odom. But a goaltend. Took it after it. Hit off the backboard.
During the timeout, Rick Adelman pulled his guys aside and said, hey, push the basketball, continue to look to make plays. Don't look at the clock. We want you to keep your foot on the gas pedal. This is a heck of a move by Aaron Brooks. Inside, outside, gets the Laker bigs on their heels, creates the goaltending, forces Lamar Odom into.
Farmar got away with a little bit of a push there. Odom not had a field goal so far. That one won't go. Gets it back, and there's his first field goal. 6-point game as we come up on 2 minutes remaining here in the third. Good defense from Farmar. Brooks to Battier. Landry. Up and under. Great move from Carl Landry. Bryant kicks it out. Ariza for 3. Not that time. Battier takes it away, and a loose ball foul is going to go against Houston. As they bumped into Gasol. Rick Adelman not pleased with the call. They're not in the penalty yet. Battier's third.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm sure you agree with it, Coach. The shots that the Rockets are making right now, those are tougher shots if you don't start the game off 21-3. They gain confidence. They believe in themselves. And right now, they're making plays off of the momentum that they started the game.
It's all about setting a tone.
They saw Farmar rushed it. Ariza comes up with an offensive board. Shot clock did not reset. Farmar will try a 3. That's good. Jordan Farmar. Strong play off the bench, 11 points in 10 minutes.
And once again, the extra pass by Bryant. Could have forced up one with a contested hand of Scola coming. Instead, gave the ball up to Farmer.
Artest knocks it down. Gasol was right on him, a 7-footer with a hand in his face. Gasol spins from a double team. Boy, what a pretty move.
And see, that's where Landry's not a strong player. He's not a strong individual post defender. That's why the foul trouble on Chuck Hayes is so critical.
Hayes has 4. There's the ball knocked out of bounds by Bryant. Landry, a better offensive player than Hayes.
Talk about the offense of the Rockets. Well, things are going well when you start off the first quarter shooting 57% from the field. All of a sudden, guys think, hey, I'm Kobe Bryant on the floor. Ron Artest, that's over a contested hand of Pau Gasol, but you can't turn it on when you want to contest and when you don't.
Final minute, third quarter. Brooks on the drive, gets inside, banks it in. How did he put that in? $18 for Brooks. They needed a big game from him tonight. Bryant on the drive. Won't go. Rebound Scola. And the Rockets will hold it for the final shot of the third period. Farmar gonna have to hoist it up. It would not have counted. And that ends the third quarter. The Rockets weather the storm. They were up by 16 at halftime. Lakers came back and cut it to 2. Houston giving themselves a little bit of breathing room. Aaron Brooks, 18 points. The second-year point guard. And he's getting huge help. The best playoff game of his young NBA career is Scola with 24. We head to the fourth with the Rockets up 9. Will there be one more game for the Houston Rockets, or is this the final quarter? Right now here in Game 6, they lead by 9. Time for our late game adjustments, sponsored by Burger King. So let's go to Dorisburg with Rick Adelman.
Lakers started that quarter on a 16-2 to run, Coach. How were they successful early?
We just stopped being aggressive. We got to be aggressive. We got to push the ball. No matter what they do, we got to push the ball and take care of it.
As they have all year, your guys responded. What's most important in the fourth quarter?
I think it's the same thing. We got to push the ball out of them, keep the ball moving, and get open shots. We start walking it up, it just feeds right into their hands.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Doris, this Rockets team has been a great story all year. They won 53 games despite having some huge injuries. They lost Tracy McGrady back in February for the season. They also had Shane Battier, one of their key players. He missed 22 games. Artest missed 13 games. They had a lot of difficulties. They had the incident with Carl Landry, where in that carjacking incident, he got shot. They had their share of adversity throughout the course of the season. But the one thing you could count on, they always played hard. And here against the Lakers, they were heavy underdogs, especially after Yao Ming went out with the injury. But they had that fantastic victory in Game 4, and here with a golden opportunity to force a Game 7.
And you know the beautiful thing about it? How many times we've watched teams all season long make excuses for injuries and being shorthanded. Give the Rockets credit. No excuses. Go out no matter who's in uniform. Give energy and effort, and good things happen.
Just a tough, gritty team. Landry tied up and a foul.
And I like this move by Rick Adelman, keeping Aaron Brooks in the game and pairing him with Kyle Lowry. Brooks has got the hot hand. He's critical to their penetration game, particularly their high pick and roll game.
And that's another part of the Rockets season. They traded their starting point guard, Rafer Alston, back in February. In fact, Rick Adelman said he was very concerned when they made the trade. He was comfortable with Alston. 2 young point guards getting the job done. Lowry blocked. Nice play from Odom, and he gets the rebound as well.
Well, Phil Jackson sitting Kobe to start this fourth quarter. Hopefully looking to spark Vujacic and Farmer in the backcourt.
Luke Walton trying to find some room. Gasol looks up at the shot clock, which he sees winding down. Nice power move, and then using the left hand.
Landry's got to do a better job of preventing the catch. He's playing straight behind, allowing the catch, and then he doesn't have that physical base to prevent the back end by Gasol.
Landry against Odom the other way. Forces up the shot, and he puts it in. I don't know if that one had any right going in. Well, that's why Landry's on the floor. He's 4 for 4 from the field. Vujacic. 9-point game, still plenty of time remaining. And Shannon Brown will check in. Vujacic is really struggling.
Landry forcing the issue. That's a tough shot. Very fortunate that it went in. How about Vujacic going to the bench? That's bad offense. Complaining about a foul. First of all, is no foul. It's a bad shot. You got to be much more patient. Phil Jackson had enough and going with Shannon Brown.
He's just shooting 28% from the field in this series. Had such a great playoff run for them last year, but struggling this season. Brooks falling away, won't go. Gasol the rebound.
Good individual defense by Jordan Farmar.
Farmar. The walk. Back to Farmar. In and out. Walk the rebound. Shannon Brown. They go to Gasol. Skull on him. Gasol triple team. Out to Brown for 3. And Gasol able to track it down. Lakers just 5 of 20 from three-point range. Gasol inside, misses, and Odom right there to clean it up.
But this is the way that Pau Gasol has to play offensively. Not making shots the last couple times, but he is looking to be aggressive, playing with force.
Scola. Good defense from Brown. First to 9, then deflecting. Lowry blocked again by Odom. And a foul call on Landry. Rockets a little out of control on a couple of possessions. Landry picks up his third.
And they're going to play you defensively with force. Well, you have to play offensively with force. Tough shot, but it creates an opening for Lamar Odom to attack the offensive boards.
Artest back in. See Odom, in addition to those 2 blocks, he has 11 rebounds. Farmer, wide open jumper. Scola with his 12th rebound. Just over 3 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Lowry stripped by Brown. And still Rockets ball. And we'll have a timeout. Houston trying to force a game 7. They've got a 7-point lead here early in the fourth.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs. Brought to you by Taken. For the thrill ride of your life, get Taken on Blu-ray and DVD today.
Chuck Hayes of the Houston Rockets up by 7. Still early here in the fourth quarter at a packed Toyota Center, including one very interested spectator who's with Doris Burke.
One very interested and happy spectator, I think, Commissioner David Stern, and yet another compelling, competitive postseason game in the NBA. What's the best part of being the boss and choosing to go venue to venue?
I get great seats. You know, I get to, and when I'm not here, I get to listen to good announce teams. It's a great time of year.
The NBA has always been very proactive. You evaluate every season things you want to change. One of the things you talked about pregame, Commissioner, was instant replay, being a bit more aggressive, I believe was your word. You know, if you had your druthers, what would you see instituted?
Something at endgame where we let the fans know we're even trying harder to get it right. I don't want to do anything that would please Jeff Van Gundy, but I would go some step.
The other thing you talked about was arena security, and obviously Denver-Dallas was a cantankerous series. You have intimate atmospheres. What's the challenge of keeping that in the balance?
We don't want to give it up. This is a great atmosphere. You know, everyone gets a little crazy this time of year, but we have to continue to reevaluate to make sure there's no, you know, anyone stepping over the line has to be brought back, and that's important to us.
You're an NBA fan. My New York Knicks are out. Tell us your favorite. Who's your pick?
Oh, I root for the officials. Can you imagine that?
Somebody has to, Commissioner. Thank you very much, Mike.
All right, Doris. And it's the thing about the NBA that has been so great over the years that they do take a look at areas that need improvement and try to make those improvements.
I like the fact that we have something in common because I don't want to do anything to make Jeff Van Gundy happy either.
You know, that's 3 straight years the commissioner has thrown his little left jab to my chin. It's better than the haymaker he threw when he fined me $100,000, so I'll take the little jab.
Lowry can't finish. Odom the rebound. Still plenty of time remaining. 8 minutes left in a 7-point game.
You know, Mike, do you think I'm overreacting? Do you think I'm going to get a little bit of refund?
No, I don't think you have a chance.
I think the commissioner should think about that.
He already thought about it. He does not want to do anything to please you.
Gasol misses. And Landry the rebound.
Since when did I become the bad guy in the NBA? Come on.
Some anxious moments right now as Artest hits the three-pointer. It's back to 10.
I like that shot. You got to be able to lay it on the line. If he misses it, that's a horrible shot. If he makes it, big time play by Artest.
Gasol flips it up and in. Quick bucket from Gasol.
But the difference when he went up against Hayes right then is he gave him a little shake move to the baseline to move Chuck Hayes' feet, and then he attacked the middle.
By the way, Artest had been 2 for 17 from three-point range over the last couple of games. Hayes to Landry. Landry with the finish. And a foul. For 5 from the field.
Well, I love his guys staying in character. Chuck Hayes knows he's not a scorer. Defense runs to him, deliver the basketball. Carl Landry says, fellas, all 4 of you, welcome to my poster.
Landry didn't have an easy path. As Kobe Bryant watches an easy path to the NBA. Started at junior college and a couple of years at Purdue. Had a nice career at Purdue. Second-round pick by Seattle, traded to Houston for a second-round pick. He just works hard and works hard. Had some knee problems in college, overcame that. And now a big player off the bench for Rick Adelman. Bryant lifts up. Won't go. Landry the rebound. Brooks looking. Rockets have that little bounce to their step once again. Brooks splits the defenders. Inside pass and a foul. Landry again will go to the line as Odom picks up the personal, his 4th.
Well, Aaron Brooks is just living in the lane. He's got it going for himself. Good split of the pick and roll, and very good find off the bounce pass. And an adjustment by Brooks. He had a lot of turnovers in the last game trying to throw air passes where the length of the Lakers could deflect. Now he's putting the ball on the ground with bounce passes. Nice play by Brooks.
We mentioned Landry's path. We also earlier mentioned about that carjacking incident in which he got shot in the leg earlier this season and came back from that. With more on that, let's go to Doris. Having some problems with Doris's microphone. There was an incident that he feels he's lucky to be alive as he ran from his car, and the assailant shot him a couple of times. He said about 5 or 6 shots. This happened back in February. And he did take that one shot in the leg, but he returned playing basketball, and he is playing some superb game tonight. Shot clock down to 3. Big shot there from Odom. Lakers needed a bucket.
Well, the thing is, if you're the Lakers, you got to find a way to get stops. You can't trade baskets with the Rockets as we close out this ball game.
Brooks. Balmore trying to force it. Baseline, gets inside in the lane, flips it up, short. Rebound, Chuck Hayes. Back to Brooks. And a new 24 for Houston. Chuck Hayes once again doesn't have big numbers, but he has a big impact. Brooks on the drive, lost it. Artest, no hesitation, in and out. And Odom the rebound. Ball looked like it was kicked. Phil Jackson felt there should have been a kick ball call. And the Lakers will call timeout. The lead is 9 with 4:56 remaining. Carl Landry with a huge performance off the bench.
A lot of ball movement, a lot of man movement. Chuck Hayes delivers the pass to Landry, flying through the air with the greatest of ease. Rockets rolling.
Austin on Sunday, guys. Back to you.
All right, Mark. The Rockets don't have a dominant player right now. What they do have is a lot of heart, a lot of toughness, and a 9-point lead with just under 5 minutes remaining here in the 4th. Let's listen into the coach's recent huddles.
It's all about us, guys. It's all about us.
Just play on. Don't whine. Don't look disgusted. Just play on. You know, they score, they score. Run, get back on defense, run on offense.
Worked too hard to get here. Now let's finish it up.
try to finish it off. This is a Rocket team that at the start of the season, many thought they could compete against the Lakers. They would battle the Lakers. But that's when they thought Tracy McGrady was going to be healthy and Yao Ming would be ready for the playoff series. They have overcome, as we said, a lot of health issues. And no one thought they had any chance to win the series, especially after Yao Ming went down. But here they are on the verge of tying it at 3 games apiece and forcing a Game 7. Rick Adelman has done a tremendous job with this team. He's had some good teams in his career with Portland. With Sacramento, this team perhaps not as talented, but boy, do they play hard.
Rick Adelman's a Hall of Fame coach.
Landry. Knocks down the jumper again. 14 points for Landry. An 11-point lead with 4.5 to play.
Well, the confidence that Rick Adelman is showing in Landry. Skola's on the bench, and he's had an outstanding ball game.
Bryant to drive, trying to bank it. Tipped in by Gasol. The Rockets wanted offensive interference. By the naked eye, it looked like the ball may have cleared the cylinder. Well, they credit to Kobe Bryant, so apparently nobody touched it. So it's 29 now for Kobe. Artest for 3. Not a good shot there. Ball batted around. Landry falls down, and he calls timeout. A little bit of everything from Carl Landry. And a full timeout for the Houston Rockets.
How about this move from Kobe Bryant? It's a brand new move called the jersey in the mouth. Keeps it in his mouth, dribble penetration, then releases it upon the release of the shot. Lakers don't have to find a way. Maybe it's play defense with the jersey in your mouth.
The NBA cares about the community. This season, the NBA and its team joined with the Hewlett-Packard family to provide schools across the country with state-of-the-art technology, offering technological training and outfitting newly created reading and learning centers with computers and printers, in one case a youngster's bedroom. The NBA and HP have provided thousands of students with educational resources to help them achieve their goals in today's high-tech world. The NBA, where caring happens. Kobe Bryant and the Lakers were hoping to close this series out tonight and go face the Nuggets at home on Sunday. But it might be a Game 7. We'll have it for you Sunday on ABC. 3:30 Eastern Time. Either Rockets and Lakers Game 7 from the Staples Center or Nuggets and Lakers Game 1 from L.A. Meanwhile, Orlando and Boston. A great Game 7. Our friends at TNT will have that one on Sunday night. Still time remaining, but Houston in control right now. Brooks on the pull-up. Aaron Brooks. It's back to 11. He's got 20.
Once again, pick and roll basketball, giving the Lakers problems.
Bryant for 3. Bryant very upset. He thought he got fouled. Looked like some contact there.
That's good defense by Shane Battier. That's not a foul.
Right on the hand as he releases the ball. Battier's done an excellent job tonight. Brooks. Again! Aaron Brooks puts him up 13 with 3 minutes remaining.
And a great screen by Chuck Hayes. To me, the Lakers, with Hayes on the floor, have to find a better way as Landry blocks the shot.
It's still Laker ball. And Mark Wunderlich looking for help from Tom Washington. They're going to change it. Rockets ball.
And that's the correct call. Ball out of bounds off the Lakers. Right now, the Rockets are the team trying to close this thing out. And that's off the hands of Pau Gasol. Good job of refereeing, making sure you get the call right.
Aaron Brooks has been just sensational. Kobe Bryant still arguing.
Oh, it's pick and roll basketball. good job of getting to your spots and taking advantage of the slow rotation by the Lakers.
Brooks, in just his second year in the league, he told us earlier today that he was nervous when he was given the keys to the Rockets' car when they traded Ray Ralston and made him the starting point guard. Well, he doesn't look nervous tonight.
To me, the Lakers have to figure out how to make Chuck Hayes a liability on offense. Either hack a Hayes, double off of him. But right now, they're being able to play easy pick-and-roll basketball.
Brooks strip, and Landry is fouled. Landry will go to the line. Carl Landry 6 for 6 from the field, 14 points and 5 rebounds as Odom has picked up his 5th foul. Kobe Bryant and Mark Wunderlich. That's not a pleasant conversation.
Well, Coach, you make a great point. If I'm coaching against the Houston Rockets, I'm not even defending Chuck Hayes. He's a liability on the offensive end. He's great defensively. So I am forcing the hands out of Aaron Brooks or any other threat offensively and daring Chuck Hayes to beat me. It's inexcusable to defend a guy that can't beat you.
Timeout, Lakers. Houston, 2 minutes and 36 seconds away from a Game 7. .36 remaining here in the fourth. Rockets now with a 14-point lead. Big play from a number of players, including the smallest guy on the floor.
Well, it's all about pick-and-roll basketball. Here, Chuck Hayes, solid screen. He's able to attack Pau Gasol, get some separation, pull-up jumper. And here, again, another solid screen by Chuck Hayes. Allows Brooks to get just enough space to get his pull-up jumper off. Good offense by Aaron Brooks. Great screens by Chuck Hayes.
Brooks, who they list as 6 feet tall, said throughout his career, high school, college, and the NBA, they've always told him he's too small. In fact, when he was trying to leave the Staples Center the other night after Game 5, he had an usher stop him saying, "No, you can't go. That's where the players go." He had to wait until they found somebody to confirm that he was actually a player on the Houston Rockets.
Well, the way the Lakers are defending him, they're playing to his strength. In pick-and-roll situations, he has 2 or 3 seconds where it's just him and Pau Gasol one-on-one. What they should do is hit him, trap the basketball prior to the screen, force him to get rid of it, and then do not rotate to Chuck Hayes.
14-point game with 2.5 to go.
Think about the production the Rockets have gotten from their power forwards tonight as Bryant banks it in. 16 for 23 from the floor.
Overall, the team shooting 51%. The Lakers just 36%. And a key stat for Houston here in the fourth quarter, they have not turned it over 1 time. Brooks to the basket, blocked by Odom, but a foul. And Odom is just fouled out. Odom had 14 rebounds, 8 points.
And it's high pick and roll. Aaron Brooks keeping his foot on the gas pedal, getting into the thick of the Lakers defense, causing the contact, sending Lamar Odom to the sideline for the rest of the night.
And Aaron Brooks back to the line. Brooks, who played 4 years of college at Oregon. Another one of those Seattle guys. A lot of nice players coming out of Seattle. One of his best friends growing up, Brandon Roy, who he squared off and beat in the first round. Roy, of course, the talented guard for the Trailblazers.
You know, I thought last year that the Lakers would not have gone to the finals if they faced New Orleans with Chris Paul because of the problems that he created in pick-and-roll situations. Aaron Brooks is just putting a stamp on exactly what I said because they have so many problems defending the pick-and-roll. Smaller quick-point guards just have their way.
Bryant misses a 3. Landry the rebound, and the crowd starting to celebrate. Under 2 minutes remaining. Rockets turn it over.
No, Coach, I'm sure you will agree. You cannot defend the pick and roll 5 different ways. Master one way and then live with the results and make proper adjustments.
Oh, hard. Fall to the floor from Kobe Bryant. Good aggressive defense. He'll go to the line for 2.
You're absolutely right. You have to have a primary way you play something, and then if that is not working on a given night, even with the players making a great effort, then you have plan B. Once you start C, D, and E, it's hard to be good at multiple things. And Mark, I want to go back to a point you made before the game. Why do you try to end the series as quickly as possible? Just because of that last drive by Kobe Bryant. Think about it. If he had taken a fall like Lamar Odom did and banged up his back and wasn't at full strength for Game 7, who knows what the Lakers have in them?
Or certainly you have a player in the first couple of minutes picks up, say Kobe Bryant picks up 3 quick fouls or a couple of quick fouls on a charge. Or the Rockets come out and just have one of those nights where everything they put up goes in. You never can tell when it comes down to one game. And that's what this series will come down to. The Houston Rockets with another inspiring performance for their fans here at the Toyota Center. 1:44 remaining. Rockets in control. ESPN Films presents Kobe Doing Work, directed by Spike Lee and presented commercial-free on ESPN this Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Well, Kobe's going to be needing to do some more work on Sunday because it looks like we're going to have Game 7. What an unlikely Game 7 between the Rockets and the Lakers. And it's just, you know, fans, all sports fans, they love an underdog. And when Yao Ming went down, everybody was saying this series is over. Really an inspiring performance by the Rockets, Mark.
Well, it says a lot about the coaching job that Rick Adelman has done, not making excuses. That energy, that effort is contagious. And the players, they simply have gone out and outworked this Los Angeles Lakers team.
Again, especially as we have a whistle. The clock was not moving. Tom Washington spotted that. Especially after what happened in Game 5. The Lakers looked, I mean, absolutely unbeatable. They steamrolled their way to a 40-point win at the Staples Center. And they talked like they were going to come back and have a strong game, refocused. Instead, they fell behind early, fell behind by 18 in the first quarter.
At this point in the year, you are who you are. Any team can have a bad game, but you have habits, and you are what your habits are. The Lakers don't have a defensive disposition every night, and this is a great offensive team, and the Rockets have to be credited for a great defense against a great offensive team.
Trying to force the turnover. Shot clock winding down. Lowry in there with some more ball handling. Lowry and Brooks did a nice job together. Lowry misses. Rebound Landry just took it away from Gasol. And most of the crowd on its feet cheering on their Rockets. Brooks draws the foul. Shot won't go. And he'll go to the free throw line with 1:04 remaining. And now you look at the Rockets. They did win a game at the Staples Center, Game 1, but Yao Ming played in that game. And Yao Ming was sensational in that game. He had 28 points and 10 rebounds. It'll be a very difficult task for them to win on Sunday. As we said, you never know. But what's the key for them on Sunday to win on the road?
For me, is let your head down and bring the energy and effort that you played with here to Game 7. Right now, you're playing with house money, and they should go in thinking we should win. Because one thing that's going to be consistent is their energy and effort. No one knows which Laker team is going to show up.
And for me, for Houston, as long as they handle the ball and don't turn it over, they're going to have to make some threes and hope that Kobe Bryant doesn't have a Kobe Bryant type of game.
Walton fires away. The Lakers with just 13 points here in the fourth quarter. They had battled back from 18 down to cut it to 2. And a foul. All year long in the regular season, the Lakers did not have one single game where they trailed wire to wire. They've had 2 in the last 3 in this series.
I tell you what, when you watch what this Rockets team, what they've done throughout this entire series, it's inspiring. It says a lot about this organization, this coaching staff, and this group of players. It still does not take Kenny Smith off the hook. I'm embarrassed by my fellow New Yorker wearing a red Rocket blazer and a bow tie. Come on, Kenny, you're better than that.
He's got a little Rocket fever. You can't blame him for having Rocket fever here in Houston as their team ready to wrap this one up. So many big impact players tonight for the Rockets. Carl Landry off the bench. Superb job, Mark.
Coach talked about the power forward play for the Houston Rockets. It started with Scola, and then Landry came in and picked up right where he left off. Time and time again, high energy, finishing underneath on the block. You don't double team, you're guarding him with Lamar Odom. He is punishing the small defenders. And then meets you at the rim. Outstanding job all night long for the power forwards of the Rockets.
He had a 21-point, 10-rebound game in the loss in Game 2. Another strong game here in Game 6.
And I think he missed 6 free throws in that game that he had the 21 points.
Yeah, he was 7 of 13 from the line. Farmar to the basket, banks it in. With 37.2 remaining. And again, not only did they lose Yao Ming, but they lost to Dikembe Mutombo in the Portland series. His season and his career coming to an end. So the two top centers, Mutombo didn't play a lot of minutes, but played an important role. And now they start a 6'6" center in Chuck Hayes. And here they are forcing the Lakers to a Game 7. Foul on Brown. But the funny thing about the Lakers, certainly this was not a good performance, much like Game 4. But it never seems to affect them the next game. They've shown a good ability to bounce back. Certainly you don't want that inconsistency as a team that wants to win a championship, but it doesn't have an effect on the next game for them.
I tell you what, I am absolutely done this year picking the Lakers. I'm done. I'm picking the Denver Nuggets. I'm also going to pick to win in the Eastern Conference, because one thing I know is that those teams are going to show up. That it's not going to be because they were outworked and they gave disappointing effort. There's no reason for this Laker team to be in a Game 7 against this Rockets team.
And I just don't think anyone should jump to the conclusion that the Rockets are going to go into LA and get blown out again. It may happen, but I think it'll be closer than others would think going into the second half.
Lakers won Game 5 by 40, come to Houston and never had the lead. The Rockets will dribble this one out. An unlikely Game 7 in this Western Conference semifinals, a wacky series. And the Houston Rockets, another tremendous performance at home. Game 7 coming up on Sunday. Tremendous performance from Aaron Brooks. Once again, he had 34 points in Game 4, 26 more tonight. He's with Doris.
Aaron, a 40-point beatdown in the last game prior to this one. Again, no Yao Ming. Somehow this team responds over and over to adversity. How do you guys do it?
Luis Scola played big today. He gave us that low post presence that we needed today, and that's what we was missing. Somebody that can get some buckets in the paint.
Lakers made this a game in the second half, but in the fourth quarter, your defense held them to 14 points. What were you doing well on the defensive end?
We got active again. Against Kobe, he's going to make some shots. They're going to go and run. They're a great team. But, we sustained, and we pushed it out in the fourth quarter.
Coach Adelman said going into the fourth quarter that he wanted you guys to attack. What were you looking to do off the pick and roll, Aaron?
Get to the middle and create havoc. If I get in there and I one-on-one the big, I like my chances a little bit. And, when we're surrounded by great shooters, that opens up everything.
In this series, outside of the Houston locker room, not many people have given you a chance. You'll face the same scenario going into Los Angeles. How do you avoid what happened there in Game 5?
We still have no chance. We'll keep playing, though.
You like it like that. Thanks, Aaron. Mike?
All right, Doris, you mentioned Scola. Scola had 14 points in the first quarter when the Rockets went up by 18. Lakers made some comebacks, but once again, Every game the Rockets have played here in the postseason, the team that's led after the first quarter has won. And that includes tonight, which sets up Sunday afternoon from the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Game 7 for the right to face the Denver Nuggets in the conference finals. And it'll all start 3:30 Eastern time on Sunday. Once again, the final score from the Toyota Center. The Rockets 95, the Lakers 80. This series tied at 3 games apiece. For a recap of tonight's game, go to ESPN News or stay tuned to ESPN for Sports Center coming up. So for Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, Doris Burke, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Breen saying so long from Houston. We'll see you Sunday, Game 7 from Los Angeles.